All right. What's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live on this windy night in Las Vegas. As always, I got my brother here, Brandon Janot from Houston, Texas. What's going on, my man?
Doing good. How about
That's
you?
good. It's going good, man. You know what? Today, I can't complain. My Sparks, man, they did some good drafting today, man. Oh yeah, my Sparks did it today, man. I love it. I love it. To get a defensive player of the year out of the whole conference, to get the one of the best guards, and we got an amazing forward from Hawaii. The Sparks killed it, baby. Like those damn Lakers. At least one LA team knows how to draft. Jesus. Anyway, that's not here nor there. All right. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I'm still bitter about my Lakers, but that's not here nor there. Today, it's all about the draft, man. And we got some fun ones today. As you see on the title down there below, we have the Steelers, we have the Patriots. That's how it's going to be for the next few days. And then Thursday we'll do Tennessee, and then we're off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for good reasons. So, Brandon, you ready to get to it, my man?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with those Pittsburgh Steelers. They finished the season 9-7-1, and we all know who that one tie was. I was very happy with that because Lions pride, baby, Lions pride. But they were the most untalented, winningest, balanced team in the NFL. If that makes any sense, if that makes any sense. That's what they were. That's the best way to describe the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were 21st in offense, 20th on defense. Very uncharacteristic season on them. But you know what? When you look at the draft class that the Steelers had, they're going to get it. They did the right choices. I mean, they really did do the right choices and everything. And I think it's a accomplishment on the general manager and on Mike Tomlin to find these guys and get the most use out of them where they fit. And that's why the Steelers have been successful for so long. Because there's one thing I always say. You're always guaranteed to get taxed, and you're always guaranteed that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have another amazing draft class. That's life. That's what you're going to get in life guarantees, okay? The Pittsburgh Steelers another draft class, that's just a life guarantee. But here we go. Starting with pick number 24, they got the best running back in the whole NFL draft last year. Running back Najee Harris. And boy, Mike, what's going on, my man? 1,200 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns to go along with 74 receptions, 467 yards, 3 touchdowns. There's a reason. There's a reason he was the best running back in this draft class, and there's a reason he was a Pro Bowler. Kudos to him. He did his thing. Now, second round pick. This was kind of a shocker, but I don't really like to throw fantasy this early in the year. But if you need a sleeper tight end, I got you, man. Pat Freiermuth, the tight end out of Penn State, 60 receptions, 497 yards, 7 touchdowns. Now, he is never going to be a George Kittle. He's never going to be a Travis Kelce that can just beat man coverage. But you know what he is? He is an amazing red zone threat, and he's an amazing possession receiver. Like Heath Miller was all those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It just works. It just worked, man. So kudos to the Steelers for saying, screw everybody, we're going to go with this guy instead, because that was actually graded as an F at the time, and it turned out to be an amazing pick. So kudos to them. Again,
I don't know, grade that as an F, but okay.
Well, I mean, apparently experts mocked it as an F. Yeah.
No comment. Continue.
I know how you like those experts.
No comment.
But third round, pick 87, they took Kendrick Green, center/guard out of Illinois. He actually started at center. So, I mean, hey, kudos to the Steelers again to finding a starting center, which they needed because of the whole retirement of Pouncey and everything. So, hey, you got him in the third round. Kudos. Then fourth round, you went back to the offensive line. You went Dan Moore, the offensive tackle out of Texas A&M, and he ended up being your starting left tackle. Hey, there you go. You got 4 starters with your first 4 picks. That's amazing to me. Now, They did stay at Texas A&M. They had to bring along his friend, Buddy Johnson, the linebacker from Texas A&M. Nothing flashy, but he's a good special teams contributor. So we'll see if his role changes anything from next year. Fifth round with the 156th pick, they took Isaiah Loudermilk, the defensive end out of Wisconsin. Yes, that is his last name, Loudermilk. All right. Don't laugh. 23 tackles and a sack. Hey,
That's
when
still
you're,
laugh.
hey, I mean, Loudermilk, it's a funny name, but hey, don't laugh at it. Because the only problem is with that is just he's so buried in the depth chart because the Steelers always have like that amazing depth. But to come in and still have 23 tackles in the whole year when you were thrown in there, hey man, do what you do. Do what you can do. Now in the sixth round, 216 pick. Unfortunately, this is the only pick that didn't work out for him. Quincy Roche, the linebacker out of Miami. He made the practice squad, but unfortunately the Giants picked him up and he ended up starting for the Giants. 38 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble, and he looks like a good contributor to that New York Giants football team. I expect him to stay in New York, but even though he's playing somewhere else, it was still a good pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just, again, when you're so buried in the depth with how the Steelers are set up, chances are you're not going to make the team. And he just didn't make the team. Now, seventh round, 245, Trey Norwood, the safety out of Oklahoma. Again, they have 2 amazing safeties there. You're not going to get a lot of playing time, but when he did, 38 tackles, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections. Do what you do. Do what you can do. It's a very good defense. That's all I can tell you. And with the last pick in their 7th round, their last pick, 254, they took Presley Harvin, punter out of Georgia Tech. And hey, he looked good. 2,900 punting yards, 3 touchbacks, and punted inside the 20, 25 times, which was 10th best in the NFL. Not bad for a rookie. Now, his leg does have to get a little bit stronger because I think he was ranked 28th in punt yards per average. I think it was like 42 and a half. So he does have to get a little bit stronger on the kicking side, but I mean, he accurate than a motherfucker. So nothing more to it than that. That's just he's just doing his job. He's accurate than a motherfucker. So overall, I give this draft class an A. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They know how to do it. They just know how to draft very well. That's why they're always competing. That's why Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. They just freaking reload, man. Pisses me off because if he got fired, I would have so loved him because I want that for the Raiders. Shit. But go ahead, Brandon. Give me your thoughts about the Steelers season, man. Give me your thoughts about it.
Big Ben.
Yeah, it's the end of an era, man.
It's just that. I mean, listen, he had one glaring game. That was literally the end of his, two. The last game in Pittsburgh and then the game against Baltimore to get them in the playoffs. After that, we all knew he was going to lose to Kansas City. We all knew. We knew it was over. Like he had one little hoorah. Congratulations. You never had a losing season since Mike Tomlin took over.
Somebody gets me. Mike gets me. Death, taxes, and a good Steelers draft. That's always guaranteed in life.
Listen, Big Ben last year, we all knew it was over. It was done. I don't know why he came back, to be honest. I thought it was done then, and then Najee Harris having still a great year with that O-line that barely barely could buy for him for like half of the season.
Yeah.
He had games where he literally had to run from like 10 yards back just to get like 3 yards forward. Like
I think that's I wish that was, and not to cut you off, I wish that was something I would have checked. How many negative yards did this man have? Because I'm sure if he didn't get those negative yards, I'm sure he would have had more freaking rushing yards. Okay.
Like we forget that he only got hot like at the end of the season.
Like
midway through the season, that's when he got hot.
Here's the crazy thing about him, whether he was receiving the football or rushing the football. The man did not have 1 fumble in 17 games. The man's a beast. I don't
know how that's possible. I remember watching him against Green Bay, and he couldn't run the ball at all. All they could do was throw him the ball, and Big Ben barely could do that. So,
I mean, I get it, man. But you know what? I am kind of glad that Big Ben came back because I don't know what it was, man. I think it was a more of a sentimental thing for me to see him throw that last touchdown pass against Kansas City and knowing that it was over. And it was kind of like, you know what? This is the way it was supposed to be. Like, this is okay. Like, at least I think last year when how the season happened, I don't think it was supposed to go. He wasn't supposed to go out like that. He wasn't. And I think this year he went out there and he said, okay, this is okay. This is okay for me to go out. And, it sucks that Pouncey retired. Honest to God. It sucked that he retired because I think it was all sudden and we weren't ready for that. So we were just kind of like, oh shit. Like, this is life without Pouncey. And that was hard to deal with. That was kind of hard to do.
Him, him and his brother retiring at the same. It was like, God damn, really?
Well, I mean, they came in together. They're gonna leave together.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are proud because they never have to work another day in their friggin' life. Okay, never again. They're good.
Ever.
They're good. Mom and dad should be proud. Now, it was a kind of a weird year for the Steelers because at one point, I remember week 1 they beat Buffalo, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, maybe it was an overreaction of okay, this defense is still gonna do its thing, and then maybe the offense just did enough. Is going to do enough.
It's not only did they beat Buffalo, they beat Buffalo at Buffalo.
Exactly. And
they came back and beat Buffalo at Buffalo.
But then week 2 happened, and then you blow it to the Raiders, and it's like, maybe that was just a bad game. And then week 3 they win again. And it's like, okay, let's see what happens now. Then they tie with Detroit, and you're like, okay, dude, what football team are you? What are you going to be?
Okay, I don't blame that on Big Ben. But
I blame that on Mason Rudolph.
Thank you. There
I blame that on Mason Rudolph. But still, it was the freaking okay. That should tell you everything you need to know about Mason Rudolph. If he has any aspirations of being a starting quarterback, no, dude, it's over. It's over, dude. So yeah, enough of that. But they go to Kansas City. I think we all knew. I mean, and you know what's kind of funny? There was a little part where they were actually playing really well, and it's like, oh shit. And then Kansas City just came out of nowhere, and they just did their thing, and it was kind of like, oh.
I think it was like a fumble, and then it was just over after that.
It was just over at that point. But the one thing I can say is, Big Ben, we'll see you in 5 years when you get your gold jacket in Canton, Ohio, because he deserves it. He deserves it. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, one of the better passers in the history of the NFL. And, he did his thing. It's unfortunate that it had to end the last 2 years. His last 2 playoff games, he gets blown out. But I think this was the way to go out. I think this is for – and for anybody out there that's thinking he'll come back, like, no, you can't do a circle on Heinz Field after Monday Night Football and then say, I'm coming back. That's a Brett Favre bullshit right there.
Who in the hell said he's coming back? Did you see the last 2-3 seasons that he's played? No, let his ass stay retired.
Okay. I think he's content with his career being over. I think he's fine.
We're content with his career being over. That was embarrassing. God damn, bro. Like, you should have
missed some, but it's just weird to me now that I remember watching that 2005 draft, and all those 3 quarterbacks that were taken in the NFL in the first round are gone. And I'm like, where did the time go?
I was just about to say that. Phillip Rivers looked like the only one that could actually come back and play football immediately.
Eli cannot.
Eli looks just goddamn. Just stay
shot to hell.
Get the money with Peyton. You're good. Don't come back. Big Ben looked like his arm is dead. Like dead. Like it's over.
It's okay.
Not coming back. Like,
and you know what? I hope none of those 3 ever come back.
Like the clock struck.
Not to say that I would love to see them play, but it's just, listen, man, you made your money. You did your time. It's okay. It's time to move on. Your time is over.
It's like the clock struck 0 on his arm 3 years ago. Like, it struck 0 on his arm 3 years ago, and he just couldn't understand.
It's like the kid. It's like the guy that drives the 1998 Honda Civic still in 2022, and he keeps recharging his engine like it's gonna work, and it doesn't turn on anymore. It's
It
like, dude,
doesn't
it's
do it
over.
anymore,
It's
man.
over.
It's okay. Just upgrade. You good?
You're good, baby. You're good. You got a good enough credit score. You good, baby. But you know what? I will say this. And then there was a little bit of turmoil. There was a real conversation that Mike Tomlin might leave Pittsburgh
Okay.
for USC.
Okay.
That was like real. Like that was not a joke. That was real. And you know what? For anybody out there that is going to watch this video, that is listening to this video, what Mike Tomlin said is USC doesn't have a big enough check to cash me. He meant that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He really meant that shit.
Yes, it is.
USC does not have the fucking booster power to sign him away from Pittsburgh. No way. Now, do I think USC would have been a contender right away? Oh, definitely with Mike Tomlin. But yeah, there was no way he was going to leave Pittsburgh for USC. And anybody that started that, whoever started that rumor, should look in the mirror and slap what they see because that was so dumb. That was so dumb to even
Yeah.
bring that into to bring that into life.
I think they did it because Pittsburgh was losing at the time, and they just try to find some controversy to create so Mike Tomlin could leave, which was stupid. And I don't understand that shit when you're literally 15 years into coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers and hasn't had a losing season yet. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it.
It's weird to me.
It is wrong. I think it's wrong to this man to say that because you start off sluggish, like a lot of teams do, we need to get rid of you. It's like, no, Big Ben sucks. Juju Smith-Schuster loves doing TikTok more than he loves catching a freaking football. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? My old line looks atrocious for most of the season, and I got this rookie running back trying to do everything in his power just to get the goddamn ball in his hands and not get hit 30 yards behind the goddamn line of scrimmage. What am I supposed to do? And I still find a way to get your ass in the playoffs. And you talking about
they needed a little help. They needed a little help,
clearly, but still, it's like you needed me. You're telling me that I need to leave. I need to get fired because of the structure of this team that I barely have any say so really over sometimes. Because TJ Watt still was great. TJ Watt was damn near breaking Michael Strahan's sack record. Clearly, the defense was okay. It just was that offense.
You know, I mean, the same thing. The offense flustered again, and the defense faltered.
It's what it is. What is Mike Tomlin's call it? Defense. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, listen, you can put all the offensive coordinators in the world in one room and try to figure it out, but Big Ben was done. Juju Smith-Schuster was done.
That offensive line was shot to shit.
It just was bad, and I don't. And that is you can't. It's only so long you could dress something up and make it look like it's good when it's not.
It's just tough to me. It's just tough for me to see that. But
it's just like the year before that when they went 11-0 first. That was all that defense. That was never the offense.
No, that defense did its thing. When the defense is scoring touchdowns
and special teams,
you're good. You're okay. That means you're a pretty good squad. But you know, the season's over. You know, they lose to Kansas City in the wild card round. Big Ben says goodbye. Now here comes a new era of Pittsburgh Steelers. The mind on everybody's questions. Who is going to take the reins? Who's going to be the quarterback? Well, at one point, Mason Rudolph went on an interview and said, I will gladly be the starting quarterback, and I will do everything I can to be the starting quarterback. Well, they re-signed Dwayne Haskins, and unfortunately, with his passing, you know, rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, and prayers and thoughts to the Haskins family. You know, there was a part of me that I thought before all this happened, listen, man, why not? Well, I get it. Why not? I mean, I get it. You signed Mitchell Trubisky, but hey, at this point, let the best man win. And, you know, I mean, it sucks that unfortunately, you know, Dwayne is gone, but I mean, you know, I mean, we don't know what the situation is now, and obviously, you know, it's a touchy subject because it just happened.
It literally just happened, like 24 hours ago,
I mean,
48 hours ago.
You know, we're not going to be, you know, Adam Schefter saying that, you know, he struggled to pick up a knot. Like, no, I would struggle too if I was in that Washington team at that time, especially not knowing what I had at that time. It was hard for anybody to pick up that offense, but now the question is, it's who does Pittsburgh roll with? Do they go Mitchell Trubisky? Do they go Mason Rudolph? And I think that's going to be a question on everybody's mind. But the free agency class has been kind of nice to Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. I mean, departure-wise, they lost a crap ton of wide receivers. Ray McLeod, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington's now heading to Dallas, and Joshua Dobbs is now heading to Cleveland.
Just fire Baker Mayfield. Is it so wrong to just let this man go? What the hell are they doing? What is Cleveland really doing? Listen, what the hell are they doing? Can somebody please tell me that? They have Baker Mayfield still on payroll, and they're like, no, we're going to sign another quarterback.
If there's any Brown fans out there, can you
explain what the hell is going on?
$18.5 million just to sit on the bench. That's cool, dog.
He's like fourth on the depth chart, if I'm assuming.
He's
fourth, right? Like he's got to be fourth.
I mean, he has to be at this point with that
ladder. He has to be, right? Like he's got to be fourth. Like, if Deshaun Watson doesn't get suspended, and if you get suspended, now you're third. Congratulations. So it's like, what the hell are we missing?
Oh, Cleveland, I'm so sorry we bring your misery into this. I'm so sorry. It's just you bring this on yourselves, all right? You guys bring this on yourselves. But anyway, I will say this, though.
They're like, we rather take our chances, Joshua.
There's a term my brother says. It's not just the F word. It's how you say it. It's fat. It's like,
oh my God, that's
like, bro. There's bro, and then there's bruh.
I understand. I understand your last couple of years with Baker hasn't been all that exciting, but still, why are y'all punishing this man? What did he do?
There's a part of me that wants them that I hope there's a way to rewind the time and for them to pick up their 5th-year option just to see this again next year.
Oh my God, boy.
But anyway, listen, the free agencies that did come for Pittsburgh, Carolina's going to do the same thing with Sam Darnold on the pine. Once they draft their quarterback, there you go. But Cleveland already got their quarterback. Now it's just all about what Carolina
wants. That's how disrespectful this is. They literally have their starting quarterback in the damn office, in the quarterback room. Then they got their backup and their third string. And you still there.
And you're still there. Like,
you're still there. You're still
like, if I'm Baker, do I even show up? Like, do I? Like, why do I care?
Bad is this? You can't even hold out. Cleveland's like, okay, and your point is?
All right, hold out. All right.
Hold out. I don't give a damn. Like, it ain't hurting me.
The farther you away from us, the better it'll be.
God.
The better it'll be for all parties involved.
This is getting bad, man. This is
getting bad. The ex-wife is still sleeping on the couch.
I don't even know if that's the ex-wife. I think that's like a sibling you don't really like that. Like, like somebody you cut off like way back in the day and they came back into your life. You're like, what the hell are you doing here?
Remember, I asked you if I could stay with. Oh, yeah. Hey, just don't touch any of my shit, man. All right, I gotta go to work.
I gave you my number. What the hell was that?
What was this? But the way I see it, with the arrivals of the Pittsburgh Steelers free agency class. Listen, James Daniels, the guard from Chicago, he ain't the worst, but he's actually pretty good. Now we'll see, how that goes. Miles Jack, the favorite linebacker from Jacksonville, is now heading to Pittsburgh. Mason Cole, he's a pretty decent center. Mitchell Trubisky, we talked about him after a year being a backup to Josh Allen. He is now going to be competing for the starting job for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Levi Wallace, another cornerback from Buffalo, he will be joining the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And Gunnar Olszewski, the wide receiver from New England. So they got one wide receiver. It's just who the hell knows who Gunnar Olszewski is. And Grenard Avery, the defensive end from Philadelphia. I will say this, though. I did like the fact that they did re-sign Ahkello Witherspoon. A very underrated corner, and I'm glad that they got him back because he deserves to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. He was meant to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I will say this, though. I think they attacked what their biggest weakness was, and that was offensive line. They got a decent starting center, and they got a starting guard. I'm not saying that they're going to be Pro Bowlers, all pros, and all that stuff, but I mean it's better than what they had before. And now, when you look at Kendrick Green, he has to compete for that spot now. It's just what it is. But I mean, other than that, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. If Pittsburgh, which I know Pittsburgh will have another amazing draft class, if they do, I think they could win the North. It ain't going to be easy, but I think they can compete to win the North. I know, as weird as that sounds, when Mitchell Trubisky might be the starting quarterback, but I think they can do it. I think they have a shot.
James Daniels coming from Chicago to Pittsburgh, he knows Mitchell, which may help something.
Yeah,
I guess in a sense.
yeah.
I think they finished second in the NFC North. Me personally. Depending on really, actually, it does depend on Cincinnati and what that O-line looked like. Because let's be real, that O-line was just as terrible as Pittsburgh's. So,
But I mean, Cincinnati, they did do some amazing stuff in free agency,
which we're gonna get to later on, clearly. But, but like I said, but yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Pittsburgh can finish second, second or third, depending on what also Baltimore does. We don't know what they're gonna be really.
I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest, but I'm just saying as far as when you look at the free agents that they bring in and how the draft class might shape up to be, I mean, hey.
Yeah. I mean, this Pittsburgh has a chance to – they have a chance to take the North or at least make the playoffs.
At least playoffs. At least.
And be competitive this time. Not just there. Just
unbalanced, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So, we'll see. But all right, my man. So, all that being said, here comes Roger Goodell for the 20th time. I'm sure he's tired, but who gives a shit? It's Vegas. Nobody's tired in Vegas. And he's got the card in his hand. Brandon, what name is Roger Goodell going to be? What's the name he's going to be reading off that card with pick number 20?
All right. Pick number 20 for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2022 draft. Pittsburgh Steelers will select Malik Willis, quarterback, Liberty. This is what listen to me. This is mainly because of what just happened. To me personally, it's just what just happened. I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. There's no way in hell Mitchell Trubisky is going to go to Pittsburgh and win that starting job regardless. I just don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. I don't trust Mason Rudolph as a backup. And it's starting to get to the point now where you're late in the season. Are you really going to wait to – what, you going to go sign Blake Bortles? Like, I like Malik Willis. I think, like, what I'm hearing from, like, how people are talking about Dwayne Haskins, his humbleness, his
eager
confidence.
to learn.
Like, I think that's Malik Willis in a sense. Like, he's got a strong arm. He's got a better arm than Mitchell Trubisky. He's way more athletic than Mitchell Trubisky. And he's strong. Like, if you actually seen this man play, it's hard to get his ass on the ground.
That's a strong brother, dude.
He's a strong goddamn dude.
That's a hard man to bring down, bro.
And what does Pittsburgh love about quarterbacks? They love the fact that they can stay on their feet and find a way to get plays. You don't think that? Go look at Big Ben's whole entire career. Why the fuck do you think he might be a Hall of Famer? He literally stayed on the field. It was hard to bring him down. And that's the same thing with Malik Willis. I think Pittsburgh drafts him, man. And like I said, if what happened Saturday didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have gone with a quarterback. But I think there's no way in hell you trust Mason Rudolph to be a backup. And I damn sure know you don't trust Mitchell Trubisky to be your starting quarterback. I think if you're going to do anything else, you might as well get a quarterback that you do believe. I know people are going to say, well, what about Kenny Pickett? Pittsburgh don't fit. You have seen this man enough to know that his ass don't fit. I don't trust that. I think if they didn't draft Dan Marino, what the hell made me think they're going to draft Kenny Pickett? That's just how I feel. Like, if you ain't draft Dan Marino, you ain't drafting Kenny Pickett. I don't give a damn. He ain't no Dan Marino. I could care less.
What's that old saying? Sometimes you got to learn from your mistakes.
listen to me. Listen, that's awesome. But I've also said, like yesterday when we was talking about Philly, I said this. Philly draft people out their backyard, but they never draft a quarterback out their backyard. They know
Okay,
better.
that's true.
They
That's
don't
true.
draft a
Okay, you
quarterback out
got
their
me there.
backyard. They know
Okay,
better.
okay, yeah, no,
They
you're right.
literally went to North Dakota State and drafted
I
a
mean,
goddamn quarterback. Come on.
I know that personally. Aaron Rodgers went to Cal Berkeley, and he was only like 5 minutes away from fucking Oakland. But anyway, it is what it is. But
I think Malik Willis gets the job, and I think to be honest, I think he takes the job from Mitchell Trubisky if he goes to Pittsburgh. That's my whole thing. I think you need a quarterback that actually could come in and take the job because Mitchell Trubisky is not a starter. We can stop this. He's not a goddamn starting quarterback. And what I just said about that whole offense last year, nothing's really changed. Yeah, the O-line is
gap.
He's a stop, but do you want a stopgap or do you want somebody that you already believe can be something? Now, I think Mitchell Trubisky is
yeah,
good.
No, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right.
I think Mitchell Trubisky is good for like the first 4 or 5 games, but after a while, people are going to watch tape on him again and realize, oh, he's not strong at this and he's not good at that. And that's a problem. Malik Willis at least can throw the ball down the football field, and he's athletic, and he's hard to get the fuck on the ground.
Mike,
and I think Malik
with the hot take in the 2022 draft, Kenny Pickett equals Drew Lock 2.0. Oof, with the hot take. And then Timo, ain't too many quarterbacks. You know what? Listen, man, Dan Marino was a special cat. Why he fell that far? I don't know.
Because somebody said he was taking drugs, which was stupid. Just because you smoke weed is not. Just because you smoke weed, you're not taking drugs. That's stupid. I don't understand that.
It's like Cat Williams says, it is a plant.
It just grows like that.
And if you simply set it on fire,
there are some effects. What is wrong with this world we live in?
if you simply put it on fire. No, I will say this though. I think after the whole Saturday's, incident and everything, I mean, I think, now this is a real scenario. Where Pittsburgh, they don't have to go quarterback, but they might have to go. And if he listen, I think it's going to be crappy because it's like, oh, well, you drafted him, and then let's say it burns out and they pick early. It's like, do they go quarterback again? It's like, we're not going to kill him because plenty of teams have done that.
I think Malik Willis, if he gets drafted by Pittsburgh, he goes to an organization that's ran by Mike Tomlin, so he's no nonsense. Yep. But he's also going to give you as much free range to be yourself as you can be. You're also going in and also learning from assistant head coach Brian Flores, who just saw what a rookie quarterback can be in the NFL. He just had Tua. And to me, Malik Willis is at least better than that damn Tua. So I think Pittsburgh goes quarterback because, like I said, I've seen too much of Mr. Trubisky, and we clearly know Mason Rudolph is not the goddamn future of the Pittsburgh.
We know that much, yeah.
Just drive a quarterback and get it over and done with.
So this is where I'm at with Pittsburgh. And, this was even before the whole incident on Saturday. I know they're going to go quarterback early, but I don't think it's going to be first round. I think it's going to be second round. And what I mean by second round is I think they're going to go for kids that are the Carson Strongs of the world, the Desmond Ritters of the world, quarterbacks like that. Like, hey, there might be something there. And if it doesn't work out, then your franchise is not going to fold on a second round quarterback. But and even before the whole incident, I already kind of had an idea where I was going to go with Pittsburgh anyway. And so that's why for me personally, with 20th pick in the NFL draft, I believe and because of who's left on my board and everything, obviously me and you have different boards. I'm going to go Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. Look, to me, he's what Trent Brown is supposed to be, but when he's actually fit. All right, he's a mauler. He loves the physicality, and he's just Trent Brown, but healthier. He's fit. He's a fit offensive lineman. He's an athletic offensive lineman, and I think you put him at left tackle. And the first things first for Pittsburgh, they have to fix that offensive line. If you're Pittsburgh, you have to. You can't go into the season again with the high hopes of winning, and you still having a terrible O-line. You have to go into the season with the thought of you got to fix this offensive line, because even if Trevor Penning is okay, that's already better than what you had last year. All right, let's be real.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a scenario where we got Trevor Penning, James Daniel, Mason Cole, Kendrick Green could be the right guard or whatever, and Chimdy can still be the right tackle. Okokora, I hope that's how you say his last name because I know it's a weird name, but he's a good kid. He's a good guy and he knows how to play right tackle. If you put that out there, that's already good enough for you to compete for the AFC North. And you have the defense to compete for the AFC North. So why not try to get a little better, hold the line down a little bit, let Najee do his little thing and not run for his life 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and for the bull. Go for the way. Just go for the win.
I totally agree. I took Trevor Penning yesterday for the Saints, but yeah, I think Trevor Penning will fit that Steelers team just as fast as anybody would. But I'm starting to get to the point where I think in the NFL, it's like Pittsburgh needs a quarterback, at least a backup. We know Mason Rudolph is not that. And we know Mitchell Trubisky has the limits.
Anything. I mean, and listen, God forbid anything happens to Mitchell Trubisky. But if Mason Rudolph comes in and here's your backup, I hate to break it to you guys. This is going to be the first year Mike Tomlin might get his freaking first losing season.
He might get fired. Like, let's be real for a second. Just because
one bad year and he might get fired. Like, come on.
Oh my God, what the hell? And like I said last time, he took a chance. He got Brian Flores on that staff. That's a massive like. Soon as you drop the ball, we're firing both of you guys. Like that's a. So that's why I also feel like they got to go with a quarterback because they need something immediately.
And I'm sure that was even way before the incident. Like you just have to have something in your future. So you guys let us know in the comments. We both went offense, but who would you take? Malik Willis or Trevor Penning in Pittsburgh? Let us know in the comments as we get ready for part 2 of this episode. Like I said, this is what's going to happen. We're up until Wednesday because we have a lot of stuff going on this week. But next up on the clock, the New England Patriots, the number 21 pick. So after a 10-7 season and after 1 year removed from Tom Brady, that was just abysmal. A lot of players leaving because of the whole COVID protocols. They came back into the playoffs.
And got this
with the 10-7 record, with the 6th best offense and the 2nd best defense in the NFL. It would have been number 1, but injuries kind of got in the way. It happens. But they were still good enough to be number 2 in the league. So, how did New England respond after having their first losing season in many years? Well, at pick number 15, they took Mac Jones. I don't know if you remember him, Brandon, but he was, the pocket passing quarterback out of Alabama, had all those amazing weapons at Alabama.
I tried to miss his games as much as I could.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Oh, I'm sure you did. But, he threw for 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not bad for a rookie quarterback. Hey, man. It's like Uncle P used to say all the time whenever we did our show. Right now, Mac Jones just has the little kids menu of Olive Garden. Take the mac and cheese or take the chicken tendies. But you're not getting the big boy menu just yet. Now, 2nd round pick number 38, they took Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. 46 tackles, 2 sacks. Good enough for exactly what we expected him to be, a run. Yeah, Mike, they threw all that money last offseason. This year, nah, not so much. Not so much this year. About that. There you go. But, hey, for a run stuffing tackler, defensive tackle, he did his job.
Yeah.
Now, here's the crazy thing about New England. If you're a defensive player and you get drafted by New England, chances are you're probably going to be a healthy scratch because of the depth they have. Let me explain. Ronnie Perkins, defensive end out of Oklahoma. You remember him, the speedster, defensive end coming out of Oklahoma. He went to New England. Oh, man, what a great depth. Healthy scratch. All 18 weeks. Why? Look who they had. Go back to that roster and look who they had at defensive end. You ain't going to get snaps. Then 4th round, Ramondre Stevenson, the running back out of Oklahoma. So they stayed again. And 606 yards, 5 touchdowns with 14 receptions for 123 yards. That's a Bill Belichick running back right there. Power, receiving, vision. That's a Bill Belichick running back.
He's
Nothing
kind of thrust.
flashy,
He's kind of thrust into the comments. He was thrust into the starting position because James White got hurt. That's pretty much what
but I
happened.
mean, he
But
did his shit.
he
He did his
did good
shit.
though. He did what he was needed to do.
I mean, it's a Bill Belichick running back. So here we go. 5th round, 177, Cameron McGrone, the linebacker out of Michigan. All right, here we go. And you know what? He was actually a late prospect that everybody thought he could be a day one starter. Healthy scratch. All 18 weeks. Why? Go back into that depth chart and look what they had a linebacker. You you ain't gonna get any snaps. So here we go. Here, okay, maybe this guy. 6th round, 188. Joshua Bledsoe, the safety out of Missouri. Healthy scratch all 18 weeks. Why? Go back and look what they had at safety. You're not gonna play. Just sit down, man. We just need you for the future, not right now. I'm just reloading. Sit down. Now, pick 6 or round 6, number 197, William Sherman. He was an offensive tackle in Colorado, but they converted him to guard, and now he's the backup left guard. All right, hey man, it is what it is. Kudos. Find your role and go with it. And then 7th round, 242, Trey Nixon, the wide receiver out of UCF. Didn't suit up one time because look at the wide receivers they had last year and tell me where he was going to really play. All in all, it was exactly what we thought it was. I think it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. An amazing defense again, which has always been Bill Belichick's MO. He's always going to put the best 11 defensive starters out there. It is what it is. That's just Bill Belichick. What I am surprised, though, is how effective that offense was with a rookie quarterback like Mike Jones. The guy with the least amount of athletic ability. And remember, a lot of people called me crazy last year. I had Mac Jones as, my my third best quarterback. And people thought I was nuts. And I said, no, man, this guy's the real deal. He's exactly what Bill Belichick likes. A little mobility and pocket quarterback. That's Bill's guy. And he's like, the second I knew he came out of the draft, I'm like, you're going to be a Patriot, bro. Like, you don't need, like, I know it's January, but start looking at houses in New England. You're going to be a freaking Patriot, bro. So just start looking. But overall, I will say this for the New England Patriots. Yes, they threw all that money last offseason because why wouldn't they? They had a down year. You need to get back into the playoffs. And it's very imperative. This is why I think Robert Kraft is so spoiled. He went on the radio show and he said, it's a shame that we have not won a playoff game in 3 years. I haven't won one since 2002. So don't give me your shit, Robert Kraft. Don't give me your shit right now. But anyway, the way I see this New England team right now, if they keep doing what they were supposed to do and if they keep building, I'm going to be honest with you. I know Buffalo was number 1 defense. I know you laugh.
Don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that.
I know you laugh.
Don't do that.
I know. And we'll get to Buffalo.
You know how I feel about that.
I know. We'll get to Buffalo. We'll get to Buffalo. Don't you worry. We'll get to Buffalo's pretty little face right now. But I'm just going to be honest with you. If New England builds it right, I'm not going to say that we're in the NFC East this year because I think Buffalo's going to surprise a bunch of people where I'm calling it right now. If I have a dark horse not a dark horse for MVP, but if I was going to say my early prediction, I would say Josh Allen because I think he's going to go on a revenge tour next year. I think he's going to be all revenge next year for some weird reason. But New England, they could be back to at least being a dominant team that we're used to seeing after Brady left. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the division's in their sights because Buffalo's still a pretty good football team. But do I think that New England can keep trying to compete? Because I get it. The first game they played against Buffalo, it was windy and it was a running game. New England had the better running game that night. The other 2 games, Buffalo showed why they're better than New England right now. So, do I think they keep adding pieces to the defense? Do I think they keep adding pieces to the offense to keep getting better? I'll say this. They're way ahead of the Jets and they're way ahead of Miami. And that's what I'm saying. But understand, like, they were one game better, but the two games that they played after, you can clearly see New England's great against everybody else. It's just Buffalo's going to be their only real competition until they figure it out. And it's only a one game split. You're right. It's a one game split. But those two games, the one game where the AFC East was on the line and Buffalo killed them, and then that wild card matchup, listen, I felt bad my Raiders lost. But at least I didn't go out like that. At least I didn't go out like that, So
It was like 28-0 in the first quarter. Like,
I literally was coming home from my lady's cousin's house watching the Raider Bengal game. And I'm like, I'm sure this game's probably good right now. It was like 21-0. And I'm like, I'm going to bed. I don't need to see this. I'm done.
I literally went to sleep.
Yeah, it was over for me at that point.
I literally went to sleep. When I saw like Josh Allen running like down the field, and I was like, yep, Patriots lost this.
Yeah, when Josh Allen was doing Josh Allen, like what happened? Josh Allen started doing Josh Allen things. Yep, that's game. That's game, folks.
So bad.
But I think this free agency, and it's going to be a little bit harder because this free agency was tougher on them this year than it was last year. You lose Jacob Johnson and Brandon Bolden, very important running back pieces to Las Vegas. We talked about it earlier. Gunnar Olszewski, he's gone. Ted Karras, the starting two-time Super Bowl champion center, is now heading to Cincinnati. And then you lose a very big piece. You lose J.C. Jackson to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I will say this. They try to make it up. They got Ty Montgomery. I mean, you remember Ty Montgomery from New Orleans. I mean, they try to make it up there. Jabril Peppers is now a Patriot. Terrence Mitchell from Houston, who's actually a very good corner, solid, decent corner. He's heading to New England. They re-signed Trent Brown and Jawan Bentley, the linebacker, who was kind of taking snaps away from Kyle Van Noy at one point. And to top it all off, people aren't even talking about this. They traded for Devontae Parker. I think he's going to fit great in New England. I think he's going to fit.
I mean, listen, you can actually talk about this more than I can. Nelson Aguilar is good, but he ain't Devontae Parker.
Right.
He's good. He's okay. He can get you something, but he ain't Devontae Parker. Like,
no.
Imagine Devontae Parker with an accurate quarterback. Imagine that. Well, he just got it. So congratulations.
He just got it. Yep, he just got it. So, and I think that's a trade move that nobody's really talking about. Like, I think Devontae Parker is going to really turn some eyes.
I want to know what the general manager of Miami was thinking when he was like, Devontae Parker to the Patriots, when we're going to see him twice a year, and we're giving away his snaps to everybody but him. Yeah, let's just trade him to New England. He's not going to torch us for 2 games straight. It's like, what the hell are they thinking?
Be careful what you sow, Miami.
Oh, my God, what were you thinking? You trade him in the division. Like, what sense does that make?
That's like if Dallas gave Amari Cooper to, like, Philadelphia, and it's like, oh, my God. Like, oh, my God.
So you want to lose. That's what you're saying to me?
Like, so you're begging Amari Cooper to burn you. Okay. But overall, here's the way I see it. When you look at New England, they're just a really good setup team. Yes, there's some depth. There are some positions that are not as good as others. But overall, and this is something we have to keep an eye on, the Deebo Samuel trade rumors. They're actually for real.
That's very for real.
That's for real right now. So I'm just throwing it out there. That just came to me right now. So just everybody just, if it happens, we'll keep you guys informed. But to stick with New England, I love the way they're doing it. I love the way how they're going to attack it. And I think they did the right thing. I think they had an amazing offseason. I think they're going to show why they're ready to compete for the AFC East again, and that they could just get over Buffalo. Okay, here we go. So, all right, Brandon, here we go again. Pick number 21. Roger Goodell's coming back. He's got the card in his hand. What name is Mr. Goodell going to read for who's going to be the newest member of the New England Patriots with pick number 21?
All right. So for the number 21st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots will select Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa.
Like it.
There's a lot of situations in this draft, but that one would be the easiest goddamn situation of all time. Because if they draft him, you go ahead and cancel it. I don't care what nobody say. The Patriots will win the AFC East. It's not even a goddamn question.
Mike, I said New England, not the Raiders. All right, he's saying kicker punter. No. I said New England, not the Raiders. There's a difference.
I think I knew their center left, and I was like, I know that center's going. You draft Tyler Linderbaum, you will have now a Mac Jones with a true center for the next however many years. That's a hell of a
and I'm sure you're not saying that Ted Karras was a bad center.
No, I'm not saying that, but I believe that to create continuity in that offense, you need a center that you believe can help your quarterback further.
So are you looking at a situation where you're hoping that it develops into a Jeff Saturday, Peyton Manning type of deal?
It is.
Like that type of relationship?
I think if Andrew Luck would have never retired, I think it would be like a Ryan Kelly, Andrew Luck situation. But I think more so Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday. You need a center that you know can help your quarterback. Because what's the first thing a center does? He checks to see what the hell is going on in the secondary and all the defense. Yep. And if he's got probably the consensus number one goddamn center, probably the best old lineman in the entire draft as your center now, that just helps Mac Jones even goddamn more. Maybe he can't I think their football IQs are both the same, which will make it even better and easier for him. So
it would be
anything Deebo Samuel, that's just like, come on, man.
It would be a well-oiled offensive run machine.
You said another name, Trent Brown. Getting him back is a massive thing. So now you have a veteran like Trent Brown that could teach Tyler Linderbaum some of the offensive line and some of the structure. What a Mac Jones who's only been in the league for a year. That's continuity that you will never
don't forget, they still have that amazing left guard that they drafted a couple years ago in the 4th round that's now starting. They still have Isaiah Wilson. They still have Shaq Mason at the right guard. Listen, New England offensive. I don't think offensive line, but if Tyler Linderbaum's there at 21,
you got to
see how Bill Belichick says no.
Yeah, take him. Come on.
You have no choice. Now, unfortunately for me, Tyler Linderbaum is already gone.
Yeah, I waited 10 picks for you to.
Yeah, you waited a long time.
Yeah, it took
like,
10 picks.
No, this guy's gonna.
I had to get him the right. Listen, I had to get him in the right situation. You gave him Washington. I'm trying to get him the best situation he could possibly.
So you want him to have a long NFL career? Okay, how nice of you. How nice of you. Okay.
Yeah, you gave him Carson Wentz. I gave him Mac Jones. Come on.
Damn. Linderbaum would be like, hey, man, next drink's on you. But, okay. I mean, listen, that's if he's there at 21, you got to do it.
I can't find any damn thing the Patriots need. That's like a need.
Here's my thing for me. I know center's a need, but I don't think it's a bigger need. I could have gone wide receiver here, but like I said, Devontae Parker's now there. And, they're still going to have Jacoby Myers. They're still going to have Nelson Aguilar. Hunter Henry's still there. So Jonah Smith is there. So it's not like they need receivers or pet.
And they still sign Odell Beckham. We don't freaking know.
It all depends. For me, I think there's one position or there's one group that's just really down on their luck right now when it comes to depth. Because one, you look at their depth right now, and these are the two starting names. Right now, if the season were to start, this is your starting cornerback tandem for the New England Patriots. Malcolm Butler.
Oh, good God.
And Jalen Mills.
Oh, my God.
You see where I'm going with this?
Old man.
Exactly. But see, that's the thing. If Linderbaum does go to New England, Mike, it has to work out at center. He cannot afford to go guard there. He can't afford to go guard. He has to be center. Yeah. It just has to work at center.
He's got to be center.
But this is where I'm going to go with New England because I'm looking at that. I'm looking at every depth chart and I'm thinking, man, that cornerback and the backups behind them does not get any better. And the fact that you lost J.C. Jackson, This is one of those things. You lost them. Well, now you have to try to replace them. And I think right here with the 21st pick in the NFL draft, the New England Patriots go select Trent McDuffie, the cornerback out of Washington. Listen, 5'11, 200 pounds. You know what? He ain't JC Jackson, but he can cover like a motherfucker. I will say that. I will say that. I've seen enough Pac-12 football to know he knows how to cover a wide receiver, man.
I'm shocked you went Trey McDuffie. I'm shocked. I thought you would have went Andrew Booth, but okay.
I don't think he fits in New England. I don't think so. But I think Trent McDuffie is everything that New England looks for in a corner. He's got a good enough size. He's got a good enough weight. And he knows how to play cornerback. Like, here's the thing about Trent McDuffie that doesn't get talked about a lot. His skill set is already good. He just has to learn better plays and recognition, which he can do. But he's a shorter version of a Patrick Surtain. The reason everybody liked Patrick Surtain was because of his height and he had the coverage skills. Well, Trent McDuffie's got that too. The only problem is he's 5'11", so he's short in NFL cornerback standard size. But that shouldn't matter. When you can cover like this man can, and listen, the highest ceiling I got for him is another underrated corner who's got all the coverage skills in the world, but doesn't get talked about because of his height. Jerry Alexander. Mike, you might appreciate this. How many people out there do not talk about Jerry Alexander enough? Why don't people talk about Jerry Alexander enough?
That's a good goddamn point.
Because he doesn't have the height.
Yeah.
And he does his job, but he's super boring. I like boring corners. You know why? Because that means they're doing their freaking job. I love when corners are boring because they're doing their freaking job, man. And I think this guy is perfect. He's a good corner. He got the coverage skills. And I think if you pair him up with Bill Belichick, this dude's gonna everybody in New England will go, JC who? Stephon who? That will be your starter with either Jalen Mills or Malcolm Butler. At this point, if that were to happen, I would go Trent at the 1, Malcolm at the 2, Jalen at the slot, and just wish upon a star that if something good happens. So that's going to be my pick. I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie at pick number 21.
That's a good pick. I mean, I think also, like you said, the height and everything, but I also feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think coming from Washington, where a lot of people don't think a great corner could come from, that might even get him more excited to be in New England because Bill Belichick is going to damn sure give him all of the tools to be a great cornerback.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, how many cornerbacks have Bill Belichick made into hell, just like JC Jackson, who was undrafted. He just got paid all that goddamn money for them Chargers. Like, it's a thing. It's a real thing when you get drafted by Bill Belichick. He's put a lot of faith in your ass. So yeah. Malcolm Butler, you can learn from Malcolm Butler how much Bill Belichick puts faith in you.
Ask Malcolm Butler how much life was more fun after he left New England and why he decided to come back. Ask him. If that's what I'm saying. I think the biggest need for them right now is corner because you look at the rest of the depth and it's like, okay, dude, we got to fix that cornerback room. And I think Bill knows it. I think everybody knows it. And especially now that, you lose Josh McDaniels, you lose the wide receiver coach, you lose some key players, you lose some key position players or key position coaches. You have to fix that cornerback room by any means necessary. Yeah. So I think Trent McDuffie here would be in a good situation for him.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, you guys let us know. Do you like Mr. Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of Iowa, to be the Jeff Saturday to Mac Jones, Peyton Manning? Or should New England just start replacing their lost corners and getting one of the better corners in this draft? I mean, he was considered a top 15 pick. Well, only 5 picks off. Or 6 picks off.
6, yeah.
or 6 picks off. So I mean, really, is it you still get value. So I mean, it is what it is. But you guys let us know in the sections. Other than that, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Now, this is how it's going to be up until Wednesday. We are going to do 2 teams every day. And then Thursday, we're going to stick with Tennessee as the single team. And then we're off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you guys let us know in the comments. What you guys think of our picks today? As always, I do want to thank everybody that did tune in today. Mike, Off the Top Media, everybody that's going to watch this video later. Thank you so much for all the wonderful support. Tomorrow, who do we have on the clock tomorrow, Brandon? Who do we got? We got the Raiders, but they're going to be picking. Well, we're going to make the selection for Green Bay, but we're going to talk about the Raiders tomorrow. And then the next pick after that is, I forget who number 23 is. Who is number 23? I thought I remember
Dallas.
Dallas, that's it. Your favorite. I just wanted to reel you in there.
Dallas is a lost cause, but we're gonna figure out how to make it make sense.
Oh, listen, Dallas fan, I am your friend. He is not.
Clearly,
I am your friend. I am your friend. I will help you. I will help you get back to the promised land. This man wants to see you demise. He wants you to go down in flames every year.
Not in flames, just enough pain to make me be like, I just want to do that. Can I get?
You're a ruthless man. You're a ruthless man. Ruthless. But that's gonna
trade Ezekiel Elliott. You should have got rid of Ezekiel Elliott. That's a whole nother conversation. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Ouch. I'm already making accusations. Ouch. But yeah, you're right. That is going to be for tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. But until then, everybody else, have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much for the support. And people that are going to be watching the video later, thank you so much. And other than that, that is it. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.